may have seen the headlines on social media. The Satanic Temple is now an IRS recognized church.
But is that actually true? Here's Jason Puckett this morning to verify.
Here's a few of the articles. Basic claim: the Satanic Temple is now a government-recognized church and gets the same tax exemptions and benefits as any other U.S. church. But is that true? Well, the temple themselves say yes. In multiple releases, Satanic Temple reps say they got IRS approval and received 501c3 status. That's a government designation that basically means you're federally tax exempt. In order to be legally viewed as a church, you have to meet a list of requirements. Among them, a recognized creed, a form of worship, a formal code of doctrine, ministers, and regular services. The Satanic Temple meets all those requirements. On their site, their code, also their leaders, and links to chapters across the country where they hold services. So yeah, they meet the IRS requirements. We also check their status on GuideStar. It's a site that gathers tax documents about all nonprofits and tax-exempt groups. Pull up Satanic Temple, no IRS filing, quote, because it is a church. We can verify the Satanic Temple is officially an IRS-recognized church. It's important to note two things, though. With freedom of religion and our First Amendment, the IRS will grant any group meeting those requirements the status of church. That doesn't mean they condone, support, or take any stance whatsoever on the teachings of the groups. It's just a tax status. Lastly, name aside, Satanic Temple members themselves admit they don't believe in an actual Satan. They say their goals are to, quote, participate in the public sphere where other religious groups have been given favor. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.